My gut area just felt much lighter. And I thought to myself, okay, that little cup of tea that I have every day with my allulose or my stevia, it has to stop. And once I did, things changed. Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 6 and I'm Ijoma. Okay, so I need you to take just a deep breath with me for a second. Today we're talking about ingredients. And I promise this is not going to turn into one of those episodes where I tell you everything in your pantry is toxic and you need to throw it away. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're just connecting the dots because here's what's so wild. Some of the most inflamed seasons of my life was when I was eating the cleanest. Salads, protein bars, protein shakes, low-calorie foods, zero-calorie sweeteners. And I kept thinking, why do I still feel puffy? Like, I'm doing these things, so what is happening? If that's you, just know you're not crazy, and you're definitely not alone. Let me say this really clearly. If you're trying to eat healthy and still feel bloated, inflamed, or stuck, that does not mean you're failing. It might just mean you don't have all the information yet. And honestly, most of us weren't taught to read ingredients. We weren't taught to read calories. Calories, macros, points, carbs, fats, but not ingredients. And ingredients really do matter. Not in a fear-based way, okay, but in a how does my body actually respond to this kind of way. So let's talk about seed oils for a second. And before anyone panics, no, I'm not saying they're poison. Here's the science in simple terms. Most seed oils like soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, sunflower oil are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 isn't bad. We need it. But the issue is ratio. Our ancestors actually consumed omega-6 and omega-3 in a much more balanced ratio. But today, the average ratio is heavily skewed towards omega-6. And when omega-6 intake is chronically high without enough omega-3 to balance it, it can contribute to pro-inflammatory signaling to the body. Not overnight, not dramatically, but over time. And these seed oils are in everything. Healthy foods, salad dressings, protein bars, nut milks, gluten-free snacks, restaurant foods. So you could be eating low calorie and still consuming inflammatory ingredients daily. Again, don't panic, okay? This is all for awareness. You've probably heard this before. Girl, it's fine. If you just eat it once in a while, it's okay. And listen, I'm not here to police your food. I'm not saying one bite of something ruins your life. But here's what we need to talk about. That once in a while thing, for most of us, it's not once in a while. It's a little here, a little there, a weekend thing, a late night thing, a well, I already messed up thing. And here's what's so crazy. Like, think of it as like a bucket. Every inflammatory food, every blood sugar spike, every gut irritant, it's like a drop of water in that bucket. One drop, not a big deal. 2 drops, no. But drop after drop after drop, eventually that bucket fills up. And when it overflows, that's when you feel bloated and puffy and exhausted and inflamed and you're craving everything. And you start to see weird things happening to your body and you get so discouraged because the scale won't move. And it wasn't just one thing. It was the accumulation of those things. So yes, technically one time might be fine, but if your bucket is already almost full, if your hormones are already stressed, if your gut is already inflamed, and that's why instead of saying it's fine just once, I teach gradual elimination. Not perfection, not restriction, not fear, but awareness. Because when you solely remove the things that are keeping your bucket full, your body finally gets to a space to calm down. And when your body calms down, fat loss becomes possible again. Not because you were stricter, but because you stopped overflowing your system. And that's the difference. So I want to tell you about a time when I realized that it's not just about how much we eat, it's about what's in it. So I came across the carnivore diet, and this was after I had really tried everything and I just could not figure out what was happening to my body. So I said, let me get back to the basics, okay? The basics are if you tap into your fat storage, you get into ketosis. And if you get into ketosis, then you start using the fat that you have as storage and you start to lose weight. So I started doing carnivore and I was eating just meat, beef, eggs, butter. But here's the thing. I still had this sugar craving, and the sugar craving was something I could control, but I just thought to myself, hey, just a little bit, just 1 cup of tea every day. And I was adding artificial sweetener. And at the time I was using stevia and then I switched to allulose. But over time I started seeing that my belly was just not really feeling well. And my digestion was a little weird. And I just could tell that with all the work that I was putting in, I'm eating clean, I'm walking 20,000 steps per day. Why isn't my belly feeling just a little bit slimmer? And then once I cut those things out, I started to actually see a little bit better response for my body. Like I wasn't feeling as heavy. My gut area just felt much lighter. And I thought to myself, okay, that little cup of tea that I have every day with my allulose or my stevia, it has to stop. And once I did, things changed. Okay, now let's talk gut health for a second. Now, here's where it connects. Your gut lining is sensitive. When you consume highly processed oils, certain additives, and constant sweeteners, in some people, it can irritate the gut lining over time. And when the gut is irritated, inflammation increases, digestion slows, bloating increases, hormones get affected, cravings go up. Remember, your gut plays a role in estrogen metabolism, cortisol regulation, nutrient absorption. So if your gut is inflamed, your hormones can feel chaotic. And then we blame ourselves. But sometimes the missing piece is ingredient awareness. It's not restriction like I did for years. It's awareness. So I need you to know something. You don't need to eliminate everything overnight. You don't need to fear restaurants. You don't need to become that mom at every birthday party. I've been there. Remember, you don't need perfection. What made the biggest difference for me wasn't extreme elimination. It was upgrading what I could at home. Better cooking oils, simpler ingredient lists, less daily artificial sweetener, more whole food fats, small shifts stacked consistently. That's it. Now let's connect it back to what most of us care about. Fat loss, right? So when inflammation is lower, water retention decreases, insulin sensitivity improves, digestion improves, cravings decrease, your sleep improves. And when all those improve, fat loss becomes easier. I didn't say effortless, but easier. There's less fighting and there's more flowing. And I don't know about you, but I'm definitely done fighting with my body, okay? Because I've realized that just doesn't get me the results that I need. So if you're listening and realizing, wow, my pantry might be part of the issue, please don't spiral, please. This is not about shame. It's about empowerment. And you are making the best choices you knew how to make. But now you know more. And when you know more, we do better. We adjust gently. So if you want somewhere simple to start, just flip your bottles over, read the ingredients. If seed oils are the first or second ingredient, maybe rotate their product out. Limit your daily artificial sweetener exposure. Not eliminate, just reduce. And eventually, over time, your body won't even crave those things. Cook more at home when you can, and add omega-3 sources like fatty fish and even fatty meats to help balance the ratios. Nothing dramatic, okay? Just strategic. So for next week, we're talking about something that sounds healthy, but can actually increase inflammation in women if done wrong. And that is over-exercising. And yes, that one hits me personally because I have lived this. If you've ever added more cardio when the scale didn't move, next week is for you. So I want you to remember, you're not behind, okay? You're not doing it wrong. You're learning how your body actually works. We're learning its love language. And when we do that, it changes everything. So I'll see you next week.